For years, I thrived in the high-pressure business world, but the workaholic life finally caught up with me. I was 35, very overweight, in chronic pain with severe mobility issues, terrible diet, no exercise. My health was a complete wreck. Then I went to a gentle yoga class and felt truly relaxed. The stress just melted away. I went from a size 18 to a size 8. I stopped getting sick. Pain disappeared. I learned to open my heart and I felt happy for the first time in years. So I said goodbye to the business world and started teaching. Yoga doesn't have to be strenuous. The easiest movements can trigger major release of chronic symptoms no matter your age.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hello, I'm Deborah Devine, and that was my story. Lack of rest, bad diet, and a sedentary lifestyle had my body gripped with tension. As a result, one of my real problems was constipation, something my Zoomer students also experience due to medications, disrupted sleep cycles, and slowing metabolisms. Based on that experience, I've created a very simple sequence of sitting and lying down poses that yogically release energy blockages, allowing us to flush toxins out of our systems. We work with the breath while flushing our belly organs and opening our pelvic chakras. Anyone can do this practice. You don't have to be in great shape to participate. Let's start the healing. Joining me today, Glenda. Hi, Glenda. Glenda's been dealing with constipation for a long time, and it's probably due to her go-go lifestyle. And Nina. Hi, Nina. Nina's been dealing with constipation just for the last few years, and it could be medication and side effect related. Let's begin with a warm-up. We're coming down to seated for Kappalan, the shining skull breath. We come down and cross the legs. We're sitting on a bolster to keep the hips a little bit higher than the knees, and we're moving the buttock flesh out of the way so we can really ground onto the sit bones. We let the spine get nice and long, and we just watch the breaths for a couple of moments. When we're dealing with constipation, we are working with energies for grounding. Now, we take a Kleenex. We have it on standby because we're going to be using these breaths to create a lot of heat and a lot of movement in the abdomen. Kappalan is a very powerful pranayama practice that helps us get a lot of movement and exchange of energy in the belly. They're out snorts. We're closing the lips and we're exhaling fully through the nostrils. Wonderful. Now, we're going to be coming down into Apanasana. We're coming onto the back. We use the hands to help us come down. Now, next time an out-breath comes along, the right knee comes up into the belly, and we hold on to the outside of the knee with the hand. Now, inhale, lengthen, and open. Exhale. Bring everything into the center. We're moving a lot of energy in the belly with these movements. Continue and slow the breaths down. Be very deliberate and very mindful of the movements. This is an excellent way to get movement and peristalsis happening with the colon. The colon is just a big tube of smooth muscle. When we feel stressed, all of the blood is going to the outer extremities. The blood is going to the arms and the legs, getting ready to fight or flee. So when we come into a mindful and gentle yoga practice, we're moving into the parasympathetic aspect of the nervous system. This is allowing the blood to come back into the core, into the belly, nourishing all of the cells of the digestive functions. So when we're doing our practice, you might notice that the stomach is gurgling, or there might be some more saliva building up in your mouth, and that's totally normal. In fact, that's a good sign. Now, let's take the right knee into the belly and hold on to the outside of the leg. We are engaging dorsiflexion with the right foot, and we're also engaging dorsiflexion with the left foot. So both feet are active and the toes are spread wide apart. We draw the right sit bone down toward the grounded foot, and we feel a deepening of the crease. Then we're pressing the hand into the knee and the knee into the hand, giving some very gentle pressure on the ascending colon on the right side. Then we inhale, lengthen the legs and open the arms up, and exhale the left leg into the belly, holding on to the outside of the knee. Engage dorsiflexion with both feet. Energize the legs and press the knee into the hand and resist with the hand against the knee. Exhale completely. Feel that gentle pressure on the descending colon. Please continue to enjoy Apanasana on both sides for the next few minutes, and when we come back, we'll have more yoga solutions for constipation. Inhaling, opening out.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hi, my name's Glenda, and I'm 55 years old. I'm an event planner and lead a very busy life. I have a constant problem with constipation. It's been something that I've dealt with my entire life. About 5 years ago, I got into yoga and found that it was something actually very useful because it allowed me to relax my body and to stretch out the areas that were actually where I had the bloatingness and the pains. And through proper nutrition and yoga, I've been able to live an actually much healthier and happier life.
Glenda, you made some dietary changes. What were the ones that made the most difference for you?
Well, I went through and started looking at what I was actually eating and taking away all the whites out of my diet of rice and any of the cereals and that, and then went into more of eating a lot more of the vegetables, raws, and adding more of some nuts, and including a lot more water.
It's so amazing. Our practice is so important, but unless we're also changing our diets, we're not going to see the results that we need. So this next sequence is going to be excellent for digestion. We're coming into squats. We can take the toes and the knees in the same direction at all times in order to protect the legs and protect the knees. If your Achilles tendons and your calves are tight like mine are, having a blanket on standby is an excellent idea. So I just raise my heels up onto the blanket, spread the toes nice and wide, and then keep the knees and the toes in the same direction. We are compressing the belly here, and we're also getting a wonderful stretch through the low back. Let your elbows rest on your knees, or you can take your elbows onto the inner knees and begin to press the knees into the hands and the hands into the knees. This is a great way to clear energy out of the first chakra. Let the out-breath be complete. Feel the belly come to the front spine. Pause there. Feel the sit bones going down and the heads of the femurs going down, and then let the in-breath come in towards the back. The bottom part of the lungs is where we have the highest density of those air sacs that exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. When we're constipated, we really need to alkalize the body. So these breaths are helping us with that. Now we're going to be moving into Dandasana. We come down onto the floor and we extend the legs long one at a time. We move the buttock flesh out of the way so we can ground through the sit bones. In a practice with constipation, grounding energies are very important for us to engage. Now, energize the legs, spread the toes, and press the heels away. Feel the sense of apana, downward flowing energy here. Inhale and lift everything on the front line of the body. Exhale, shoulder blades come down the back, and the sit bones are going further into the floor. Long, slow, smooth in-breath. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breath. Energize the quadriceps. Energize the feet. Feel those exhalations really grounding you here. Wonderful. Now let's come to side bends. Bend the knees one at a time and take a bolster or a rolled up blanket or towel and place it widthwise on the mat. The hip comes up to the long edge of the bolster and we drape ourselves over top. We're getting nice and long, and there's a tendency to let the head come forward and collapse through the front of the throat. Let's bring the bottom arm back a little bit and give the neck a little bit more room. Bottom knee is bent, Top leg is long and strong. Engage dorsiflexion, pretending that we're standing in mountain pose. And then the top arm comes up and over, and we hold on to the top wrist with the bottom hand. Long, slow, smooth in-breaths, and long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breaths, really working with length and expansion in the top plane of the body here. We're getting a lot of room between the top of the hip and the bottom of the ribs here. In the bottom right quadrant of the belly, the small intestine and the large intestine meet. This is when the body starts to just accumulate all of the liquids back into our system so we don't get dehydrated, and then the waste products begin their journey up and around the belly. So we're opening up here on the right side, breathing in light and spaciousness. Now, top arm comes down, and we use the arms and the upper body strength to help us come up. Let's switch sides. Draping ourselves over the bolster, giving the neck and the throat lots of room. Bottom knee is bent, top arm is long. Please continue to enjoy side bends for the next few minutes, and when we come back, we'll have more yoga solutions for constipation.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm 71 years old, and I suffer from constipation. I think the constipation might be due to some of the meds, because I do tend to take a lot of meds. But once, when it was really bad and I was suffering, it turned out I was actually dehydrated. So I think I have to keep drinking a lot more water. I'm hoping the yoga will give me a more natural way of dealing with this problem.
Nina, your symptoms have just come on in the past couple of years. You think it's medication? What medications are you on?
Well, I take insulin for my diabetes, I take Losec for my reflux, and I also take a medication for cholesterol.
Wow, that's very common for so many of us to be taking more and more medication as we get older. And I see so many students come to my classes, and many of them are experiencing constipation. So I've worked really hard to come up with this beautiful sequence to help us get things moving and create more comfort for our digestive tract. Let's come into a reclining twist now. We come to the mat and we lay down on our back with a bolster handy. We're going to be bending the left knee and lengthening the right leg. We bring the left knee up in towards the belly, and then we roll over onto the opposite hip. We're using the bolster as a support for the leg, and we're going to try to rest the other shoulder blade down on the ground and bring the arms out into a T. This is a very soothing pose to help us with constipation. It's a gentle twist, and it's supported here, and we're just using the breath to breathe light and spaciousness into the areas around the abdomen that are tense and gripping. We exhale completely, and we feel the belly come to the front spine, this beautiful massage of all of the belly organs. When we let the belly come to the front spine and pause for a moment, we are massaging not just the digestive organs, but also the organs of reproduction. All of these muscles and organs and connective tissue are connected. And so when we're massaging the belly organs, we're getting so many benefits in all of the other areas of the pelvis. Now, come back up to center, lifting the bent knee, and bend both knees, and then just rock back and forth a few times, and feel the difference between the right and the left side. Then we come up and take the pose onto the opposite side. Bring the shoulder blades down the back and broaden through the collarbones. Right leg comes up, left leg long. Roll over onto the opposite hip and let the bolster support that top leg. Trying to get the spine into alignment here, moving the shoulder blades into a way that feels more comfortable. These twists are also excellent for the immune system. We have a lot of intelligence in the belly as well. There are millions and millions of brain cells. This is the second brain. Our intuition, our gut instincts here. Now, let's come back to center. Bringing the leg back up and bending the knees, rocking back and forth a few moments. Feel how refreshed your spine, the muscles of the back, and the belly feel. Now let's come up into a back bend. Roll over to the right and use the upper body strength to help us get up. And we'll be using a bolster to support the back. We sit on the bolster. Heels are out, toes are in, and the feet are a little bit wider. Use the arms to help us come down, and we're going to be hanging off of the short edge of the bolster right underneath the bra line, and we're resting the shoulder shelf on the ground. Lengthen the back of the neck and take the arms either in a T, in cactus arms, or arms up and over. Now, let's take the hands onto the bottom right quadrant of the belly. This is where the small intestine and the large intestine meet. At the end of the small intestine, the body is done assimilating nutrients. Now in the colon, the body is just trying to draw liquid back in so we don't get dehydrated. And that waste is actually being moved up with muscles. The smooth muscle lining of the colon is actually moving waste products through. Let's take the hands and massage on the bottom right quadrant of the belly, moving up very slowly. Just soft pressure here. Long, slow, smooth in breaths and long, slow, smooth out breaths. We're coming up into the liver here on the top right side of the belly, and then we move across. We move across the top of the belly. The large intestine has a bacterial ecosystem. Sometimes bad bacteria can really take control of the colon. And we can get bloating, we can get cramping of the muscles, and of course, constipation. So we're massaging the colon and helping wake those muscles up and helping move toxins and waste products through. Please continue to enjoy this beautiful belly massage and back bend. And when we come back in a few minutes, we'll be warming down.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
In the morning, consume 1 tablespoon of olive oil on an empty stomach to relieve constipation. You can lighten the taste by adding some lemon juice.
Welcome back. In today's episode, we've been using our gentle yoga to help us with constipation. We've been compressing the belly, we've been massaging the belly, we've been opening the belly, and we've been breathing into the belly. So right now, your abdomen should feel very free and really refreshed. We're coming down into child's pose now for one final compression of the belly, and then we'll be opening up into Savasana. We're going to use a bolster to support the belly. We take a bolster in between the legs, the knees are wide, the feet are together, and the buttocks are resting on the ankles. We inhale and get nice and long on the front of the body, and then we exhale and we come forward. Now, if your hips are tight, you just lift your sit bones up to the sky. Child's pose is a wonderfully soothing pose to take after a back bend. We have so much tension in the belly. There's muscle tension and emotional tension. We use the out breath to ground that tension. We exhale completely and we pause. We feel that beautiful, peaceful stillness. And then we bring that sense into the in-breath. We feel the in-breath expanding us through the ribs. Let's come into our final Savasana. Take the hands and press them down into the ground and use your upper body strength to rise up. Feel this fresh prana, fresh life force and vitality really penetrating all of the cells of the abdomen. Now, the bolster comes widthwise on the mat, and we take a blanket folded to support the neck and the head. Let your head rest back. Take the shoulder blades down the back one at a time and open up through the collarbones. Take the arms a little bit further away from the side ribs to give the ribs room to move out and up on the in-breaths. Let the hips rest down. Let the feet rest down. Feel yourself very heavy here. A wonderful practice to help us calm the mind and calm the body is chanting Om. We're going to be moving into the Om zone now. It's very simple. We just make the Om sound happen on the out breaths. We're trying to extend the breaths and make them longer. We are allowing the Oms to resonate in the whole abdomen, in the whole torso. Take a long, slow, smooth in breath, and let's do 3 ohms together. Please continue to enjoy Savasana now for at least another 15 minutes. And we'll see you again next time on Healing Yoga. Namaste.